guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a tutorial on this look right here. I am so in love with how this turned out. Today I just went and did a gold smoky eye with the Morphe 3502 palette. So I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial, and if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. So jumping right in, we're using our Mario Badescu face spray. I'm going to prep the skin with this and then go into the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. I'm loving this primer right now. It is so good. And then I'm going to use my number 7 Airbrush Away primer as well. I'm like becoming a primer junkie. I don't know what it is. I just can't stop trying new primers. I love them. Then just prepping the eyes. This is going to be our base for our eyeshadow. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape, and then setting it with the RCMA No Color Powder. Then using the 3502 palette from Morphe. I love this palette. It's so good. I have both the 350 palettes, and honestly, I kind of like this one a little bit better than the first one, but you can see I'm working a lot of different shades into the creases. I am starting with a fluffier brush and getting into a smaller brush as I go darker with my color. And I'm always bouncing back to that first brush that I use to blend everything together. I want this look to be very buffed out and blended. And then I'm going to keep deepening up that outer corner until I feel like I've reached my desired level of pigmentation, and then I'm just going to continue to blend it out. Then I'm going to go in with my final darkest shade that I'm going to use and buff this into the outer corner. I'm not really going to take it too far into the inner corner of the crease. I'm just going to kind of blend it in so that I don't see any harsh lines or anything like that, but I don't want to bring it too far in because I want the inner part of the eye to stay very open and bright. So you can see I'm bouncing between brushes here to add pigment and then to blend it out. Then we are going to use the gold shade in the palette and apply this to the lid. I did spritz this with my Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray just to add a little bit more intensity to the pigment of the color. I didn't want anything too sparkly, so this was the perfect shade for me just because it isn't super light on its own. You'll see later in the video I will go in with a lighter shade just to kind of make it pop a little bit more. But here I'm using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla to spot conceal. Then I'm going to be using my Smashbox foundation. I'm going to mix it with my Becca Opal liquid highlighter. I'm going to apply this to the face with my fingers and then use the Beauty Blender, but it's the Morphe Beauty Blender. It's not the actual Beauty Blender. It's a lot more of an affordable option, and it is super high quality. I love this sponge so much. I probably will never buy another Beauty Blender ever again because these sponges are incredible. So I am just pouncing all over the face to blend that in and then applying my Tarte Shape Tape. The Smashbox foundation is not a super high coverage foundation. You can build it up, but it is pretty sheer on its own. So I wanted to use a little bit of a higher coverage concealer. So I will bounce this in with my brush first. This is a very dense brush from Morphe. I'm going to pounce this into the skin, and then I will go back in with my damp Beauty Blender to blend it out even more. I want to make sure that I'm blending out all of the product because we don't want our under eyes to look cakey. So once all of the concealer has been blended out with the brush, you see I will switch over to the damp sponge to blend everything out even more. And then once everything has been buffed in, I will go and set it. I'm going to be using the RCMA No Color Powder. I'm not going to be baking today. I'm just going to be setting it with the brush. I am going to leave the excess powder on there while I do my brows, just so everything sets really nicely, and then I will brush everything away. So I'm going to do my brows off camera just to save a little bit of time, and it's pretty basic. My brow routine has not changed in forever, so if you guys want to see an updated brow routine, let me know. I'll do one, but in reality, nothing has really changed. And then I am going to bronze up the face. This is another thing that has not changed, and I don't know if it ever will because these two bronzers are my life. I love the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion, and I love the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I love that they came out with a second shade of the Butter Bronzer. It's really nice that it can be a little bit more of a variety. I'm going to contour the hollows of my cheeks just to add a little bit more of shape to my face, and then I'm going to go down the sides of my nose, and then I will go and clean up underneath of my contour. I get a little heavy-handed with the bronzer sometimes, so I like to go back in and clean everything up. I don't leave it on very long because I don't want the line to be too harsh. I just leave it on enough time for me to put on my blush. I'm going to be applying the NARS blush. I forget what the name of this is, but I will have it linked down below for you guys. But I'm going to apply this to the cheeks just to add a little bit of flush to the cheeks and then buff everything together. So the RCMA No Color powder, the bronzer, the blush, everything, I buff it all together with a big fluffy powder brush. Then I'm going to spritz the face with the Mario Badescu spray again and then pounce my beauty blender all over it. This has been my trick lately to get a very natural, dewy finish to the face. And since all of our powders are done, I am going to set my eyebrows. I like to do that after powder. That way everything stays in place and you don't touch them at all. I'm going to bounce down to the lower lash line of the eyes. I'm going to use the exact same colors I used in the crease. I'm going to start with the darkest and work to the lightest. On the top, you always do the opposite. You start with the lightest and work to the darkest. On the lower lash line, you want the darkest to be the closest to your lash line, so you start with that first. Then this is where I'm going to apply a lighter shade on my lid. This is one of the shades in the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. It is the second shade in, just into the inner corner and blend it into the center just to add a little bit more brightness to the eye. I'm going to also use that shade to highlight the brow bone. I used it on the inner corner as well. And then I'm going to add a little bit of mascara. I do have my eyelash extensions right now, but I did want to tip them just to make sure that they looked black. I didn't want any powder to be sitting on them or anything like that. I don't go to the root though, so it's pretty easy to get the mascara off. But then I'm going to go in with Becca Champagne Pop. I love this highlighter. It just makes me glow so proudly, and I love the shade of it. So I am drenching myself in this today. I wanted to be pretty glowy. So I'm just going to apply the highlighter in the usual areas that I apply it, on the cheekbones, down the center of the nose, on the cupid's bow, and then I will go on top of the eyebrows. Usually focus it on the center part of the eyebrow, just where its highest point is, and then I will move on and pounce everything together. This is going to blend everything out and make sure nothing's looking powdery. And then I'm going to spritz the face one more time and move on to lips. I have been absolutely obsessed with this lip combo lately. This has definitely been my go-to nude. This is the Milani lip liner in the shade All Natural and a ColourPop liquid lipstick in the shade Alyssa. I was wearing this look during the daytime, so I wanted it to be a pretty light look, but you could definitely pair this with a darker look or pretty much any lipstick out there if you wanted it to be a little bit deeper. But I chose a nude for a daytime option, but choose whatever lip color you guys like. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and become a part of this family. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!